welcome to Will I Continue Anime, where we break all the anime rules. I'm your ecstatic host, Mary Gamer. Let's get to talking.
How many times do I have to tell you guys? Shirakawa, your hair should be black, no earrings allowed. Sarashina, shirt should be buttoned and belts fastened at the waist. Kurosaki, wear the proper shoes. This is how it should be done. Don't come back till you're decent.
Yes, that is Misaki Ayazawa, our class president. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's had a great morning, great evening, good night, good afternoon, in whatever order. Yes, it's been a long time since I recorded. I am so happy to get back in recording and actually diving down and kind of, I guess, do the one-show review if I'm going to continue or not. But yes, since I'm not going to bore you with where I've been or whatever, but let's just dive into the episode. So this week we are going to be discussing Maid-Sama. The genres are comedy romance. And I guess it's geared toward shoujo. Let's dive into the Wikipedia. As always, I'll attach the Wikipedia in the link, in the description, to where you can see if you want to get a rundown of this Wikipedia page. So Wikipedia says Maid-Sama. The class president is a maid. Is a Japanese manga series by Hiro Fujiwara. It was serialized in Haku Sensha's monthly shoujo magazine, Lala, from December 2005 to September 2013. Oh wow, I didn't know it was that long. With its chapters collected in 18 Takabon volumes. All right, like I said, I'm gonna put that in the that Wiki Link in the show notes, and also we'll go over the main voice actors. The main voice actors in this first episode. So the Japanese voice actors are for Misaki Ayazawa is Ayumi Fujimura, and for Takamine Usui, we have Nobuhiko Okamoto. For the English voice actors for Misaki Ayazawa is Monica Rial. And Takamine Usui, David Matranga. Alright, let's get to the synopsis of the story here. The story follows Misaki Ayazawa, who is the class president at a school that was formerly an all-boys school, where she is juggling school and a part-time job to help her family out. She is then discovered that she is a maid in a maid cafe by a boy from her school. Then all her troubles start. Alright. So let's get the story points. Misaki is very high-strung, very overbearing, very controlling. I don't know. Is this like a typical thing for class presidents to have the type of characteristics? I found this so. I guess they have to play it out as the crazier side of, I guess, what a class president is. I don't know, but I found it so annoying. I couldn't stand it. I had the hardest time just wrapping my head around this character, and I get it to a certain point, but way they were making her out and way she was acting, and it's just, oh man, it's to me how her even. I don't know if it's a voice. Maybe it was his voice actress. I don't know. Or maybe it was just how they portrayed this character. Really going, in the booth and, trying to read the lines and understanding how this character is. And it could have been this first episode. But I would rather have listened to Nails on the Chalkboard than listen to this character talk all throughout this whole episode. And I hope that didn't spoil anything, but this was a rough one for me to get through, and I usually kind of like the rom-coms or shoujo. At least they're a little bit funny. But yeah, so basically she is, like I said, the class president from a formal all-boys school, where the ratio is still very small for the girls versus the boys aspect. She rules the school as like a dictator, and she is so harsh against the boys. Now, granted, I do see that they kind of deserve it. Some of the antics like they do, like how they cause issues, being late, Like they're like giving some girl in the hallway to pick up their own trash, asking her to do it or something like that. I forget, some kind of chore that they didn't want to do. And then there some guy actually Isui, he made some girl cry because he didn't want to go out with her, and he just kind of, well, I don't know if that's mean, right? He just, better than leave that girl on, than not, kind of like fake it, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. So Misaki is very harsh toward the boys. And she shows a lot of favoritism to the girls, which I can see, because she's trying to stick up for them. Because I guess the boys still think they can, just kind of run all over them or do what they want. I don't know. I can see both sides to a certain point, but she is just so harsh. She's basically the whole ass to the boys. But I guess you have to have that kind of authority if you're the class president, right? I don't know. Just let me know if that's comments, or reach out to me if that's something that's a characteristic. I don't know. Even if we're boys, I don't know. I couldn't get my head wrapped around some of it. But yeah, the boys are acting always immature. Having stuff in lockers and treating girls like objects, which is, I can see that reason why she was acting that way. But I don't know. It's just, she's still too harsh, man. Especially that voice. I still can't get over that voice. It was so whiny and naggy. I don't know. I probably might catch some heat of it, but it was so. I didn't want to listen to it anymore. I didn't want to listen to it anymore. It was rough. But then I kind of felt bad at the same times, because when she does go home and she's not the harsh class president, she goes home and you can see her house. The family's not doing too well. They are, I wouldn't say poverty stricken, but they might be, where the front gates are falling off the hedges, and then also they have holes in the floors in the house. The mother's looks like it's just the mother and Misaki and her sister, and they're just trying to, I guess, survive. And that's when you kind of felt bad. Maybe that's why she's so hard, because she's so hard on herself, and she just expects others to live up to how she tries to do herself, how she portrays herself, I should say. But yeah, it felt so bad because her mother's like painting. It looks like these little Japanese statues or something, and it looks like she's trying to sell these. That's like her job, her business. And then you couldn't find out while she's doing that, Misaki is actually going to working at a maid cafe, where no one knows that she at school. She actually works here. And I know, I think in Japan, I don't think it's taboo, or I don't know. It's something about maid cafes. I think I don't think they're highly regarded. Maybe, I don't know. I remember looking at some YouTube channels and how maid cafes are kind of, not hush hush, but it's kind of a weird situation. I don't know. Kind of like here, I guess maybe we have like strip clubs and stuff like that. You don't hush hush, whatever. You're a stripper or not. I don't know. It's definitely different on the maid cafes. But she works as a maid cafe. She works a lot of hours and everything. She's trying to support her family, help her mom support the family, and also for the tuition for the school as well. Because according to some of the story there, the reason why some of the girls are going there, it is kind of like a private school. But the tuition for, I guess, the girls is a lot cheaper for the boys, so you get a better education, but you got to pay for it, right? So I think that's the reason why she scores one, helping her mom with the bills, and also to pay for her education. I totally understand that that aspect of it. But there's one night where she actually is called in out of nowhere for work, and then she has to hi. She says hi and thanks to her boss, and she takes trash out, and then one of the boys that she knows at school, Isui, he sees her out in the alley as she's taking the trash, and she just falls to the floor. She becomes like ghostly, and she just freaks out. And then whenever she goes into the school the next day, she's like freaking out, like so paranoid that Sui is going to tell everybody, even though he said in the alley, so, oh no, I'm not going to tell anybody, your secret's safe from me, basically. I promise I won't say anything, kind of thing. And it's like, she's freaking out, and she's just, the next day, just so paranoid that everybody in school knows she's a maid at a maid cafe. I don't, and it's nothing wrong though. She shouldn't feel this way. That she's working hard. She's got great grades. She's helping take care of her family. There's no shame in whatever she's doing. But I guess it has such a stigmatism that she's how maids are in these cafes. I guess because they do kind of like say, oh, they have to basically, I won't say basically. They have to do what the master says, right? They have to. When people come in, it's usually men. They go in and they want a drink or food or whatever, and they're saying that's tell that person, yes, master, I will do it, master, or so on and so forth. I believe, but that's So I don't understand the harshness of that, or why that is bad. I guess, but it's Japan. I don't know. But yeah, so she's still freaking out, and everywhere she goes, she if she hears someone whisper something, she thinks if they're looking at her and they whisper that they know she's a maid in a cafe, but it's all in her head. No one knows, literally, no one knows. So he's never told anybody. But then the next day she carries on her life throughout the few days, and she's working at the maid cafe. But Sui keeps coming in and eating the food, asking her to be his maid, and it almost kind of looked like he was checking up on her, right? And he's ordering foods, and I guess she kind of like an older brother figure, or maybe he's trying to just say, hey, I got you, you're good, but maybe he's also trying to take interest in her, right? The reason why he keeps coming into the maid cafe and just drinks and everything, and even the other maids are saying, "Oh, Usui's here, for you. Oh, are you guys boyfriend, girlfriend?" And kind of like stuff, and they say, "Oh no, I'm not a boyfriend. I don't know him." Blah blah blah. She did get the harshness out with how she is at school, being the class president, and she's all ashamed. Oh, we're not boyfriend, girlfriend. I would never be his boyfriend. Blah blah blah. But she's still sweet to him because she has to, because it's her job. It's just kind of funny moments there, and then it kind of goes into that she runs into a situation where other boys find out that she is a maid at a cafe, and they're seeming like gonna not threaten her, but blackmail her, and say, oh, I'm gonna tell everybody at school if you gotta be nice to us, blah 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 kind of stuff. And she's like, oh well, and then the Sui comes and kind of sweeps up, and kind of knocks the guys out of there, and kind of sets them straight and makes sure Misaki's okay. But and then all of a sudden she kind of collapses. She's sick. She gets extremely sick because she's working so much. Even as Sui comes in and he tries to take care of her, and he gives her his scarf and makes sure, and she lays down on it like a pillow, and he feels sorry for her for what it looks like, and she wants her to be okay. He wants her to feel safe, I guess, and not judged, because everybody wants to not be judged if you're in the situation and you're trying to do the best you can for your family, right? And then you're doing stuff that's I guess in your culture is not necessarily frowned on, but it's not really it's not thought highly of in that regard what you're doing, but he's trying not to show her that he's not judging her. He's there for her, what it looks like. But she gets sick and he takes care of her, and then next day when she said, she washes his scarf and comes back, she's feeling better. She goes back to school, and she finds him in this bar he's kind of chilling at. And she want to say thank you for doing this, and she brought a scarf back. She didn't know how to handle it, or how to say, oh, this, what can I do to help you out? I'll do what I can to repay you. And then here's the cliffhanger. He says, yes, I want you to be my maid. And I can't remember if he said for like 24 hours or a week or, or just say a day or something like that. So she like drops her in her mouth and whatnot, then it kind of goes off at the, in the show. So I thought it was okay. It was, for me, this was a struggle to get through. I mean, I tried to watch it once, and then I got kind of like, oh my gosh. No, I got so tired of it. Even just for like 15, 20 minutes on it. Then I just kind of pushed through it and watched the full episode. I'm just going to what I liked about it. What I liked most about it was that it did show how Kari Masaki was to her family, to her sister, to her mom, and how hard she was pushing herself to better her family by being an overachiever at school, trying to get the best grades, and just making additional money that, the most money she can, and the hours, and and employment that would work with her hours for school, right? So that's something I did like that part of the story. But what I liked least about it, I found, like I said at the beginning, I found Masaki so overly obnoxious, to where even her character is so strong. She is helping her family out, but it's just how she sounded. Like I said, I don't know if it's that the voice actress trying to get into, like, trying to figure out her character in the very beginning and how to portray her, But it was, oh my gosh, I could not stand it. Maybe this is one of the ones I'm usually into watching English dubs. Of course, I watch English dub, but maybe if I watch this maybe in sub, right? You hear the original Japanese voice actress, going through the lines. I'm just reading the subtitles. Maybe it'd been more a little bit more bearable. But yeah, this was rough. Even in the heartwarming pieces, I had a hard time. I just couldn't get through just her voice and how she just was so loud, and even when she was quiet, she was still in my ears, like ringing, still loud. I don't know. It was rough. But yeah, the animation it was okay. Nothing incredible. It was okay. It was, they did a good job, I should say, I guess. But yeah, it didn't blow my mind. Like I said, even the cliffhanger, it didn't, even how he kind of, he was trying to be nice and everything, then all of a sudden he becomes kind of a prick at the end. I want you to be my maid, for a day or however long he said. Even then I just didn't, I don't know. I just did not care for what he did, or what even he was going to do in the next episode. So before I say if I'm going to continue on, which might not be a surprise, my predictions, I think Isui and Misaki, they become an item eventually, probably, maybe, where they kind of interact. It's one of those typical romances. Is dude is a jerk, then he turns. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dude is a jerk, turns nice, and turns to be a jerk again. And then the girl is like, oh, I don't want to be with him. I don't, because he's a blah blah blah. And then she's so harsh, and then eventually they'll kind of get together. Maybe, I don't know. And honestly, I can't really think of any other predictions. I'll just go into, will I continue or not? I will absolutely not continue this. It's no surprise, right? Of how I've been saying, I was just struggling into the first episode. And I just couldn't get on board. Even with the cliffhanger, I just did not care. I did not care. I mean, maybe there was, like I said, even the guy voicing Isui, I didn't care for his voice acting either. Like I said, maybe if I watch this in sub, right? How everybody says sub is always better than dub. Dub can ruin it. An anime. Maybe this is the case. I might go back and watch this in sub to see if I like it more. Because some animation was kind of funny, how they're interacting with each other. But yeah, this was just, in dub, it was rough. This is really rough. And I don't know how else to say, but yeah, I will not be continuing this. But hey, that's it for the show. Hope everybody's had a great one. I will be trying to get back into these regularly. Took a bit of a break. just for personal reasons and too much going on in life. But you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm on Facebook as well, but I'm mainly more active on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at HMG Geekdom as well on Instagram and Twitter. Hope you enjoy the episode. I'm going to be trying to do this, try to get back into this, do it every other week maybe. I can't do it every week now. But I'm going to become more consistent here, hopefully soon. But thanks again for listening to me ramble on at the end, and have a great evening, good morning, and afternoon. Bye, guys.